So number 16 and 17 are the exact, except they don't give us any numbers. And the reason that they do that is because a lot of times, especially in science class and physics, things like that, they have one formula and then they solve those formulas for each one of the variables. So it looks like you got a different formula. It's not a different formula. It's the same formula. It's just solved for a different variable. So you can do this before you have numbers. So that way, when you have a problem that says find the interest rate, you can use the one that solved for R, or find the principal. You can use the one that solved for P, or you can just use the one formula, plug in the numbers, and then solve for whichever one you're looking for. That's my preference, but I also understand that I'm an algebra teacher, so the algebra is easy for me. So it doesn't matter, but you have to be able to work the problems. Whether you start off with just a general formula that they gave us here and then solve it for whichever one you're looking for, or you create your own formulas and you plug them in, depending on what you're looking for. So if I'm trying to get R by itself, again, I'm going to get rid of the P. Divide both sides by P. And since I don't have any numbers, this just becomes A divided by P is equal to, I don't have anything out in front of the parentheses anymore, so I'm going to do 1 plus R times T. Again, I'm always going to undo the addition subtraction first. That's a positive 1. I have a positive 1 right here, so I'm going to make that positive 1 go away, or add to 0 by putting with it a minus 1. So I'm going to minus 1 from this side of the equal sign in order to maintain equality. Well, I can't really subtract 1 from anything, so I'm just going to say that it's A divided by P minus 1 equals, these two add to 0. So the only thing that's left is this R times T. I'm trying to get the R by itself, so I want the T to go away. That says R times T. How do you make the T go away? How do you make times T go away? You divide by T. So we're going to divide this side by T. The T's divide out. I have R by itself. And my formula for solving for the interest rate is take the future value, or the total amount, divided by the principal, subtract 1 from it, and then divide that by the amount of time. That looks a little wonky because, okay. So there's the problem solved for R. That's the answer to this question, and I believe you would do a fraction bar and then do another fraction bar. So you have A over P. I don't know if capital letters matter. A over P, and then do minus 1. I'm working literally in the dark. Why I don't turn on a light, I don't know. Lowercase t. Check the answer. There you go. And then the same thing is for the next one. Solve for P. So I'm going to, again, that's still multiplication right there, but since I'm trying to get the P by itself, I'm going to divide both sides by 1 plus RT. Divide this side by 1 plus RT. And when I do that, this 1 plus RT and this 1 plus RT divide out. P is by itself now, and the formula for finding the principal is the total amount divided by 1 plus RT. And that would be what you would type in right there. I think then they just start asking you to do this stuff. How much interest must the student pay? Takes out a simple interest loan for $4,000 for 9 months at a rate. That's just I equals PRT. Find the future value of the loan. Add the answer to that to your principal, and you'll have it. Or use this formula right here. But I'm not going to do that one for you because you can do it. Suppose you borrow $1,000 from a friend and promise to pay back that. What is the simple interest rate? So you could use this formula right here. Since we've already solved for R, you could totally use that formula. So let's use that formula. Let's hide all that mess. There's the formula. So what do I need? I need the total amount that I'm going to pay back, the 1390. I'm going to divide that by the principal. The principal is the $1,000 that I borrowed. I'm going to pay you back this much, but I only borrowed that much. So your friend's making $390. I'm going to do that division, and then I'm going to subtract 1, and then I'm going to take that amount and divide it by T time, oh, for goodness sakes, I shouldn't put T, I should put 2. Okay? So now that's just a great big fat calculator problem. You can do the same thing over here. You can do a fraction bar, and then in the top, put another fraction bar. So 1390, and then 1000 on bottom, and then move to the right and say -1, and then on bottom put 2, and there's your interest rate. Now that is, if you want to do times 100 to rewrite it as a decimal, so that it's in a percent form, then it's 19.5%. 19.5%. Like I said, you didn't have to use that formula. You could have used this formula right here, the one that we started off with. You could totally just use this formula right here, and then done the same math that we did right here. You would have divided by P, subtracted 1. You would have just been doing it with numbers instead of letters. Doesn't matter. You'll end up with the same answer. Same thing here. Plug it in. You will pay simple interest rate of, same formula. 21. You must put in this CD now in order to have 5,000. So that's this formula right here. They want you to plug this in for P. So you're going to have a simple interest rate, 0.035. To have $5,000, that's what you're going to have. So that's your total amount, your future value, and your 3 would go right there. And then you would just do that calculation, and you would have the answer P, and that would go right there. Decide whether the following statement makes sense or does not. After depositing that, my balance at the end of the year was that. That's no, that's just going to be the interest. That's not going to be the balance. Oh, what in the world is this? I don't know why that's popping up. Sorry. That's just if you multiply your principal times your rate, you're just going to get your interest. You're not going to get your balance. The statement, does not make sense because by the end of the first year, the interest is calculated, and the balance at the end of the year will be the principal plus the interest. Okay, and similar type question. Okay, that's going to do it. Any questions that you have over these 2 assignments, of course, please, we'll start Tuesday night's class with this. So make good use of your Thursday night off and try to get some of this done. And I will see you Tuesday.